Oh, I did not mean to do that. Hello, my gun. Where's my gun? Where's my gun? I swear to God, the game... Hello? Hello? What? Huh? Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you guys for joining me again. My name is Wilky, and yes, we're here for another silo Theta run. And no, I don't really in particular like the silo per se, but I think it's a good showcase because there's a variety of different enemies in here. And we're running a different loadout again. You may have seen this one before, not on my channel, because I don't think I ever made a video about this, but we are focusing on a different gun this time. More importantly, a shotgun again, which is nice. And this here is about the AC12 or the Netherworld tag. And yeah, this is running in tandem with my Memento. Now, due to the fact that I'm running a Weakspot build with this, there is going to be a lot of, how should I word this, a downtime in regards to certain targets and enemies, in which this gun really isn't going to perform so great. Now, you can see that once we have the stacks built up, and we have weak spots available, our damage is pretty good, except for these guys, because they're just annoying in general to deal with. But yeah, it's also very easy to just hose down a lot of your ammo. Hey, man. That wasn't nice. Okay. My fast gunner stacks were a goner, which is a bit of a bummer. Now, obviously, the biggest takeaway, or the biggest drawback of this gun is that, just like the other weak spot, or any other weak weapon, really, if you don't have any weak spot available, you're gonna be dealing subpar damage. But for those of you who've seen the other video where I did this with the Kumaling, you may have noticed that the damage is still quite a bit better than what we had there. Now, there's also one other reason that I was reluctant to making this video, because I feel like this gun should receive a buff, or rather a mechanics fix. But we're going to talk about the stats in a bit. And generally speaking, while this is a valid alternative to most other shotguns, I do believe that due to the fact that it has built up and very heavy conditions linked to it, I really don't think this is the strongest it could be, or it should be seen of. Now, the main drive I have with this gun is the fact that you need to hit all the pellets to trigger, or to start actually building up your weak spot, or your fast gunner. And now, while this isn't really a problem for a lot of other guns, or generally a lot of other weapons work the same way, but let me just quickly showcase... Hey man, why are you hitting me in the back? It's not nice. So, the AC Netherworld has a 50% chance to trigger fast gunner when all projectiles hit. And this is what kind of bums me out, because that means as soon as you leave effective range, or you're not managing to hit all of your pellets, your chance goes down to zero. Nada. Zero. So, it's not only that you're losing damage when going a bit further away from the target, but as soon as you start spraying so hard, or the pellet spread is going so hard, that you're no longer able to land all the pellets consistently, you're not going to be able to build up fast gunner. And that pretty much makes or breaks the gun, quite literally. So that's my only real gripe with the gun. I wish they would just like remove it and not make it so dependent on hitting all your pellet shots. But hey, that's the gun. The reason I chose to run this with the Memento is that we can use the Memento to build up stacks as well, if needed. But since this is a showcase for a Ratatatata shotgun, we're just going to be doing that. Now, obviously, the biggest drawback here is that since we're no longer running any recovery on anything, we have the problem of sustain. So, definitely a thing to worry about. But you can see the damage is pretty nice. DPS is definitely there. And obviously, this is not really the most optimal setup for this gun. So ideally, you'd have targets like the spider or, for example, like the doggy in order to ramp the stacks up. And since it's boring to just see me do Silo Theta over and over again, we're doing our trusty friend Little Miss Spooder here. And yeah, I don't really think there's much to talk about this in regards to the fight. I think most people already did enough spider claps to know what is going on here, or how essentially everything of this is working. And yeah, I don't really think there's overall much explanation to do. Obviously, if you are able to hit weak spots reliably, which I'm currently not doing, you can see that this gun actually toasts targets quite well. There's two main gripes with this gun that I have. First of all, you just gotta get used to not reloading. Why was my Memento not reloaded? That was weird. You should refrain from reloading manually, because otherwise you will not get the 20% damage bonus from the weapon perk. And secondly, I really think they should rework the way fast gunners proc. They should do it in a similar fashion to what they did on Doombringer. As in, if you are within a set range, you should have a higher rate or higher chance to apply fast gunner. And if you're outside of your effective range, if you will, you should not be having any of that, or rather, oh no, I love this. I'm gonna lose all my stacks here. Wow, what a terrible showcase. Needless to say, you can see that the damage is still pretty rad, because we're essentially just using my weak spot build that I was using on my Memento. So obviously when we're clapping those weak spots, this thing hits like a truck. But yeah, I do believe that they should definitely consider changing the way to make it similar or in line with like Doombringer. Because I don't really think it's fair that a gun has a sort of like double condition built in. A lot of other guns have that as well, but I think that is a general design choice. That this should be addressed, or at least given, I guess, like an idea of why certain guns have like a lot of added conditions to them, when there's plenty other guns that have virtually none or really none at all tied to it, other than just point your gun in the general direction of your target. Just like so. I should have not reloaded. Oh my goodness. But hey. Yeah, you can see we can toast Spider just fine. And yeah, as I said, I'm running a weak spot build, so this is not a build video. I do believe that crit-based will be better for the Netherworld, because it is more inclined towards crit than weak spot. But since we're running Memento and Netherworld, and crit Memento, while it does work, not great, this is my choice of gun here. So I actually wanted to showcase a clap of the doggo, but the server just decided to go absolutely poop. I don't know if it's because of the update tomorrow or the new scenario coming up. Needless to say, as I mentioned as a quick TLDR, or, you know, showcase, I'm running the Memento with Shooting Blitz. The same goes for my Netherworld. The Netherworld is running the lightweight calibration, as opposed to probably most people that I've spoken to and seen they are running rapid style. I think this one's better to utilize on the reload speed or the extra damage after reloading. Then we run Trusted Combo, Double Bastille, Triple Renegade alongside the Oasis Mask. I have Precise Strike here, Blitzkrieg here, Chest is whatever, Chest, Pants, 3 strikes. Alternatives are obviously to be used. Munitions Amp, since this is the best one that I still have, and for shoes, I still run my trusty Slow and Steady. So yeah, my weak spot damage isn't overall that great for this build, but remember, we're gonna get more stacks and more damage as time goes on. And yeah, like I said, I do believe the Netherworld is better based on a crit weapon, but the Memento just struggles really hard to make use of that crit. So I think if you want to run this combination, then weak spot is the go-to, and you've seen that I did fairly well. So this thing is definitely usable if you don't like using any of the other shotguns, or you want to run a full fast gunner build.